If you've been following Sharjah real estate for a while, you've probably noticed something interesting. No matter what the market is doing, people keep talking about Muwaileh. And that's a little surprising. Because Muwaileh isn't a waterfront destination. It doesn't even have luxury skyscrapers. And yet, buyers keep buying. Tenants keep renting. And developers keep building. So, what's going on? Why does demand here behave differently? And why are investors, families, students, and commuters all paying attention to the same area? Well, I think the answer becomes much more interesting once you understand what Muwaileh actually is. Because Muwaileh isn't just one neighborhood, it's a much broader district. And within that district sits Muwaileh Commercial, one of Sharjah's busiest and fastest growing sections. Communities like Zahia and Aljada are located within Muwaileh Commercial. In fact, Muwaileh Commercial alone is estimated to be home to more than 100,000 residents. Aljada is expected to accommodate around 70,000 residents when fully completed. And nearby University City serves more than 40,000 students across multiple institutions every year. That's a lot of people supporting demand. And perhaps that's why Muwaileh has quietly become one of Sharjah's strongest demand engines. I think one thing that's important to clarify is that Muwaileh is much larger than many people realize. Because when people say Muwaileh, they're often actually referring to Muwaileh Commercial. And within Muwaileh Commercial are some of the area's most recognizable communities, including Zahia and Aljada. And that makes sense. Because Zahia has become one of the most mature and established communities in the area, while Aljada has become one of the most ambitious master plan developments in Sharjah. So, when people talk about Muwaileh, they're often talking about these communities, without necessarily separating them geographically. And I think that's part of what makes the area so interesting. Because you're not looking at one development, you're looking at an entire ecosystem. I think Zahia explains a lot about why demand behaves differently in Muwaileh Commercial. Developed by Majid Al Futtaim and Sharjah Asset Management, Zahia was one of Sharjah's first major master-planned communities. Today, thousands of residents already live there. And unlike newer communities that are still evolving, much of Zahia is already mature. Residents enjoy access to parks, walking trails, community facilities, and city center Zahia, which spans over 1.4 million square feet, and is one of Sharjah's largest retail destinations. And I think that's one reason many people searching for Muwaileh are actually looking at Zahia, especially families. Because families care about things like schools, safety, green spaces, and convenience. And Zahia checks many of those boxes. But education is another major reason demand behaves differently. Muwaileh sits right beside University City, and we're not talking about one university. Institutions like American University of Sharjah, University of Sharjah, higher colleges of technology, and several others collectively serve more than 40,000 students. And that's huge, because students create demand. Faculty members create demand. Administrative staff create demand. And families relocating for education create demand. So, even when some parts of the market slow down, that education-driven demand doesn't simply disappear. In fact, very few districts in the UAE benefit from an education ecosystem of this scale. Another reason demand behaves differently comes down to affordability. Dubai property prices have risen significantly over the last several years. Many communities have recorded price growth exceeding 30%, and rental prices have climbed sharply too. As a result, many residents are asking themselves, can I get more value somewhere else? And increasingly, the answer is yes. For example, a two-bedroom apartment in parts of Dubai can easily cost between 1.3 and 1.8 million dirhams. Meanwhile, many properties around Muwaileh Commercial still trade below 1 million dirhams. That's a difference of several 100,000 dirhams. And for many families, that's hard to ignore. More space, lower costs, good schools, and easy access to Dubai. That's a combination that keeps demand active. Investors have noticed this too, because demand creates opportunities. Rental yields in parts of Sharjah commonly range between 6% and 8%. Compare that with many mature global markets where investors are happy with 3% to 5%, or even some Dubai communities that operate closer to 4% to 6%. Suddenly, Muwaileh starts looking much more attractive, not because it's flashy, but because the numbers make sense. People need housing. Students need housing. Families need housing. And commuters need housing. And that creates relatively stable demand. And then there's Aljada, which is also located within Muwaileh Commercial. Aljada spans approximately 24 million square feet. To put that into perspective, that's larger than many standalone districts in some cities. And when completed, it's expected to accommodate around 70,000 residents. Today, it's already attracting young professionals, families, and investors. And that's important because Aljada isn't separate from Muwaileh. It's part of the larger Muwaileh commercial ecosystem. Together, established communities like Zahia and newer developments like Aljada have transformed Muwaileh Commercial into one of Sharjah's strongest demand centers. And because Muwaileh Commercial itself sits within the broader Muwaileh district, all of that activity contributes to the area's long-term growth story. And I think this is really the answer. Demand in Muwaileh doesn't depend on one type of buyer. It comes from multiple directions: students, families, professionals, business owners, commuters, and investors. That diversity creates resilience. Sharjah itself is now home to around 1.9 million residents, and the emirate has recorded more than 40 billion dirhams in property transactions in recent years. Several reporting periods have shown transaction growth exceeding 30%. Those aren't numbers usually associated with weak demand. And communities connected to Muwaileh continue benefiting from that momentum. More residents, more buyers, more tenants, more infrastructure, all feeding into each other. And that's what creates long-term demand. So, why does demand here behave differently? I think the answer is actually pretty simple. Because Muwaileh isn't one story. It's several stories happening at the same time. It's education. It's family living. It's affordability. It's Muwaileh Commercial. It's established communities like Zahia. It's newer developments like Aljada. And it's one of the few districts in Sharjah supported by so many different types of demand. Maybe that's why demand here keeps surprising people. Because sometimes the strongest markets aren't the loudest. They're simply the ones solving real problems for real people. And that's exactly what Muwaileh has been doing for years. In the next episode, we'll explore another important community, trend, or misconception shaping Sharjah's future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.